Los Angeles County officials held a press conference on Saturday below a billboard featuring victims of unsolved homicides next to the 605 freeway in Baldwin Park.
We stand here with the families of murdered victims, and we are calling on the community to help our investigators by coming forward with information to solve these murders. These are not just billboards, but a prayer for help from each one of these families. Our hope is that when somebody sees these billboards, they will see it, it will jog their memory, and they will be encouraged to come forward with any piece of information, no matter how small.
This is one of many billboards throughout Los Angeles County displaying the photos of murdered victims.
And so we need for you to tell law enforcement, give them the information that they need to help us solve some of these homicides. We know someone besides the murderer and the victim knows what happened. You might think it's little, but that little piece could be the biggest piece that they need.
Several families spoke out about the victims who were taken too soon.
This is my grandbaby. He was my first and only grandson back in 2016. He was murdered on July 6, 2016 in the city of Altadena. Somebody went by and started shooting. They shot 13 rounds, which they actually hit him. So he succumbed to his injuries on July 6th. If you saw something, say something. If you know something, say something. Don't be afraid. Please come forward and give us that closure that we need in order for the person that killed my grandson to be put behind bars.
DeAndre was a lovable kid. He cared for others. He was a hard worker. He worked at Cedars-Sinai Hospital where he had been working for 9 years. On July 17, 2016, between 6:30 and 7 p.m., DeAndre stepped outside of our home. And in the process of him stepping outside of our home, someone came up through the front and they gunned him down.
My son was Reginald Martin Thompson Sr. He was murdered on January 11th of 2022 on the corner of Imperial and Vermont at approximately 9 p.m. My family has been devastated. He has children.
For those who want to help and come forward with information on these cold cases, there are several tools in place to do so. Crime Stoppers is an organization that was put together in order to report criminal activity anonymously.
The Crime Stoppers app is 100% anonymous, or you can call the number and you remain anonymous, so they don't ask you any question about yourself and you give off that tip. It's very, very important, right? We want to make sure that we get criminals off the street so that there's no other victims.
If you want to remain anonymous, you could do it by email. Your email's encrypted and you remain anonymous, or you could do it by phone and you can remain anonymous, and if you're worried about your safety.
Officials said there have been 3,500 homicides since 2001 and 1,800 have been solved to date. For any information regarding any murder, the community is urged to call Los Angeles County Sheriff's Homicide at 323-890-5500, your local police department, LAPD, or Crime Stoppers. Christina Corona, NTD News, Los Angeles.